Welcome to Stormwater Drainage Solutions. And in today's video, I got an old one here for you. So I've probably been sitting on this footage for roughly 4 years now, and I want to go ahead and just get it edited and post it out so people can see the system. Now, this is a PVC SDR35 system that we're going to be putting in the ground here today. We're also going to be incorporating a sump pump basin in order to pump the water out of here. Now, the problem is water is going underneath this crawl space and sitting up against the home here from the downspouts and surface water that travels across the pool deck. But in order to get it out of here, because the yard is so flat, we're going to have to route those drain lines to that sump pump and then pump it out here to the curb. Remember to give 811 a call before you do any excavation. That way they can come out and mark any utility lines that may be in the area. We have all of our materials here on the job site for this project. As you can see, we have our non-woven geotextile filter fabric. We're going to be using this to line our hole where our sump basin is going to sit down in. This is going to keep the dirt separated from the stone that's going to go around the sump basin so it does not migrate into the stone and clog the perforations that we're going to make on our sump basin. Now, making perforations on the sump basin is very important. These basins are buoyant. So if you put them in the ground without perforations, on the first heavy rain, when this ground becomes saturated, the basin will float up and pop out of the ground. Now, these are the two downspouts that I was talking about here that we're going to be grabbing with solid pipe and then running that solid PVC pipe over to our sump pump basin. Now we have to go underneath this walkway here in order to tap in to our basin. So we went ahead and tunneled underneath that. Now, yes, we are using the Ryobi drill. We have humble beginnings here at Stormwater Drainage Solutions. We do not start with a lot of money. We started with basically nothing. So yeah, we use Ryobi in this. And we still continue to use those Ryobi tools, surprisingly, because they're still working. But we're also using Milwaukee, Makita, DeWalt, and Rigid. So we pretty much use everything. We don't discriminate when it comes to tools. We enjoy our tools over here at Stormwater Drainage Solutions. But as you can see, we got the core tap into our sump pump basin. We just went ahead and used the bell end of a piece of SDR35 for this, and we drill it with a hole saw, and then that bell end fits very snugly into that sump pump basin when we do it like this. And then we'll go ahead and put some geotextile fabric around that as well, just to ensure a good seal. Now, as you can see, we're cutting the 1.5 inch PVC line for our sump pump, and we're going to be plumbing that in as well. We're going to be using a Zoller pump. Now, depending on how much water we're moving, depends on the pump that we use. So different pumps move different gallons per minute, so that's GPM, and it all just varies on how much water you're going to be putting into the system. Now, as you can see, we went ahead and we incorporated a catch basin into this system because, like I said, we were getting a lot of runoff from that pool deck and it was accumulating in this low spot here, and then it would build up and it would go underneath the home. The first downspout on our run, we're going to tie it in with a sanitary tee facing upright because we had to go over this concrete pad, and we figured might as well put the sanitary tee because then we could put a clean out on top of this in case a garden hose ever need to be fitted down in here and flushed out. Now, we are working in close quarters, so we used a short turn 90 for this because we had to maintain our pitch to be able to get that catch basin to drain properly. Now, the second downspout was a little wonky here because of the footer that was poured and because of this extra wall that was designed on the house. We had to kind of push this pipe out a little bit, but we got everything plumbed in here correctly, and we have it all sloped in the direction that we want the water to flow. We checked everything with a level, and everything should be functioning nicely here. Now, as you can see, this is the finished SDR35 run. Like I said, that's a little wonky with that wall there, but what can you do? As long as the water flows properly through it, that's all that we care. The next step is going to be putting our sump pump line in and going underneath that sidewalk. Now, there are utility lines at the very end here, so you're going to want to dig very carefully around any wires, fiber optic lines, anything that's going to be going through that area. You don't want to hit one of those. We're going to simply trench this out and then start putting our sump pump line in. You can see those wires down there and those utilities that we had to go underneath, and that's all just part of the job. Now, whenever you're digging and you don't know for sure if it's a wire or not and you feel something, don't just start trying to chop through it with the shovel thinking it's a root. Check it with your hand and see what exactly it is so that you do not mess up a utility line. Once we have all of our pipe work plumbed in, the last step is going to be burying our trenches in and grading everything out and then cleaning up the job site. As you can see here, we're rinsing things off. We got everything graded out, and this job is pretty much almost completed. Now, I want to go ahead and touch on something real quick because I get this in the comment section a lot, that PVC pipe is somehow far superior to corrugated pipe, and that just simply is not true. I have camera snaked thousands of drainage systems, both PVC and corrugated, dual wall systems, RCP, you name the type of pipe, I've been in it with a camera. And I can tell you right now, they all clog, and they all clog very similarly. And the similarities in them are two things. One is going to be how the installer installed that system. And the second is if the materials used were inadequate and the pipe had a failure because the materials were bad. That's really what it boils down to. But in my opinion, for residential yard drainage, corrugated has so many more benefits over PVC, and it's the pipe to use for residential yard drainage. That's not saying PVC pipe doesn't work for it, because of course it does. You can build an awesome system out of PVC pipe and it's going to function just fine. But for budget purposes, for ease of install, corrugated pipe really is the way to go. As long as that pipe is installed correctly with pitch, you're not going to have any problems. And you are using a high quality corrugated pipe, such as the French Drain Man blue high octane pipe, which if you watch our videos, you see we use all the time. Now, whenever we're upping the system to a 6-inch main line and we use a black corrugated pipe, that is not the same black corrugated pipe that you're finding at the big box stores. The black corrugated pipe that we get is from our other vendors at waterworks stores, and it is a high quality, heavy walled corrugated pipe. There's a lot more material added to the wall of that pipe to make it thicker and heavier walled, so it's stronger. The quality of the pipe that you put in the ground matters. Say you're putting Schedule 20 in the ground. Schedule 20 is not going to last as long as SDR 35. And SDR 35 is not going to last as long as Schedule 40, true Schedule 40, not cellular core Schedule 40. So there's a difference in that too. So it really boils down to materials and installer practices. But from what we have found over the years of doing this, PVC is better for commercial job sites. Corrugated pipe is better for residential job sites in most case scenarios. So that's just my 2 cents on it. That's just my opinion on it. I'm sure the war will continue on which is better, corrugated or PVC. So let that be. But as you can see, at the very end of our discharge, we have just a normal small pop-up emitter. This was before we were using pop-up emitters with the turf restrictor plates. We went ahead and we put stone around it, and it's a mini dry well below it, so that sump pump line can drain out. And that just about does it for this job. So if you live in the Tampa Bay area and you want stormwater drainage solutions to build you an exterior drainage system, give us a call at 813-614-3456. We can come out there, assess the job site, and build a system that fits your needs. And until next time, this is SWDS signing off.